Welcome back to the social class, dear students. This is your fourth video class of lesson number 4, People's Revolt from History. Okay, we have to start from Dheeran Chinnamalai. So last class we just concluded up to English annexed Sivagangai, and today we need to start from Dheeran Chinnamalai. Okay, Dheeran Chinnamalai was born at Melapalayam in Chenni Malai near Erode. So Dheeran Chinnamalai was born in Melapalayam, so which is in Chenni Malai near Erode, and his original name was Tirthagiri. So what was his original name? Dheeran Chinnamalai's original name was Tirthagiri. He was a Palekarar of Kongu country who fought the British East India Company. So he was the Palekarar. Okay, he belonged to Kongu country. Okay, he was Palekarar of Kongu country and who fought the British East India Company. The Kongu country comprising Salem, Coimbatore, Karur and Dindukkal formed a part of the Nayak kingdom of Madurai but had been annexed by the Wayanats of Mysore. After the fall of the annexed by Odayars, that's Odayars, okay, Odayars of Mysore, it's a caste, right? After the fall of the Odayars, these territories along with Mysore were controlled by the Mysore Sultans. So what happened? The Kongu country is comprised of different places, that is Salem, Coimbatore, Karur and Dindukkal, okay, and it formed a part of the Nayak kingdom of Madurai, okay, but it had annexed by the Wadayars of Mysore. Okay, after the fall of Wadayars, these territories, okay, Salem, Coimbatore, Karur, so these territories along with Mysore, it were controlled by the Mysore Sultans. After the third and fourth Mysore wars, the entire Kongu region passed into the hands of the English. So after the third and fourth Mysore war, the Kongu region was passed into the hands of English people. Next, Dheeran Chinnamalai was trained by French military in modern warfare. So Dheeran Chinnamalai, he was trained by French military, okay, in the modern warfare. He was along the side Tippu Sultan to fight against the British East India Company and got victories against the English. So he was along with the side of Tippu Sultan and he helped to fight against the English East India Company and they got victory against the British people. So after Tippu Sultan's death, Chinnamalai settled down at Odanilai and constructed a fort there to continue his struggle against the British. So after the death of Tippu Sultan, Chinnamalai, he settled near the place called Odanilai, okay, and he constructed a fort there itself in order to continue the struggle against the British people. He sought the help of Maratha Sant Marudu Pandiyar to attack the British at Coimbatore in 1800. British forces managed to stop the armies of the Allies and hence Chinnamalai was forced to attack Coimbatore on his own. His army was defeated and he escaped from the British forces. Chinnamalai engaged in guerrilla warfare and defeated the British in Battle of Kaveri, Odanilai and Arachalur. During the final battle, Chinnamalai was betrayed by his cook Nallappan and was hanged in Sangagiri fort in the year 1805. Next, coming to Vellore revolt in the year 1806. The family members of Tippu were imprisoned at Vellore fort after the fourth Mysore war. So family members of Tippu Sultan, they were imprisoned, okay, at the fort, Vellore fort, after the fourth Mysore war got over. Some 3,000 ex-servants and soldiers of Hyder and Tippu had also been moved to the vicinity of Vellore and their property in Mysore confiscated. Okay, okay, vicinity is nothing but it's nearby. Okay, so here they have given vicinity, isn't it? Vicinity is nothing but nearby. Okay, next confiscated is nothing but பறிமுதல் செய்யப்படுது. Okay, பறிமுதல் செய்யறது. Okay, that is called as confiscated. It was quite natural that they were all unhappy and they hated the English. So this is the picture of Vellore Fort. The Vellore Fort consisted of large majority of Indian troops. A good part of it recently been raised in Tirunelveli after the Palekarar uprising of 1800. Many of the trained soldiers of the various palayams were admitted into the English army. Thus, the Vellore Fort became the meeting ground of the rebel force of South India. In 1803, William Cavendish Bentinck became governor of Madras. During his period, certain military regulations were introduced in 1805 to 1806 and were enforced by the Madras Commander-in-Chief Sir John Cradock. But the sepoys felt that these were designed to insult them. So this is the picture of William Cavendish Bentinck, and this is Sir John Cradock's picture. Next, causes for the revolt. The strict discipline, new weapons, new methods and uniforms were all new to the sepoys. So they started to give strict discipline for the sepoys. Okay, they gave new weapons to them, new methods of uniform were given, and all these were very new to the sepoys. The sepoys were asked to shave the beard and to trim the mustache. Okay, or the sepoys, they were asked to shave the beard, தாடியை எடுக்க சொல்லிட்டாங்க, shave பண்ண சொல்லிட்டாங்க. Okay, and they were asked to trim the mustache is nothing but மீசை, right? The wearing of religious mark on the forehead and the use of earrings were also banned. So they will be having a religious mark on the head, isn't it? நெத்தியில் வந்து திருநீர் வைக்கிறது, குங்குமம் வைக்கிறது இல்லையா? So they started to abolish those things. They told not to wear such religious mark on the forehead. நெத்தியில் வந்து அந்த religious marks எதுவும் வைக்கக்கூடாதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டாங்க. Okay, and the use of earrings were also banned. Even the male will be wearing earrings, காதில் கடுக்கன் போடுறது, தோடு போடுறது இல்லையா? So those things were also banned. The English treated the Indian sepoys as their inferior. English people, they treated the Indian sepoys in a very lower manner. Okay, there was the racial prejudice. Okay, prejudice is பாரபட்சம் பார்க்கிறது, right? Prejudice. Okay, next, immediate course. In June 1806, Military General Agnew introduced a new turban resembling a European hat with a badge of cross on it. It was popularly known as Agnew's turban. Both the Hindu and Muslim soldiers opposed it. So the soldiers were severely punished by the English. In the year 1806, June month, Military General Agnew, so he introduced a new turban. Okay, turban is nothing but தலையில் தலப்பா வைக்கிறது. Okay, so that turban was resembling exactly the European hat. It was resembling like European hat which has a badge on it. Okay, cross like badge. Okay, அதில் cross இருக்கிற மாதிரி badge இருந்தது. Okay, it was popularly known as what? Agnew's turban. So General Agnew's introduced பண்ணதுனால that turban was called as what? Agnew's turban. Okay, both Hindu and Muslim soldiers opposed to wear that turban. Okay, so the soldiers were severely punished by the English people. So soldiers were severely punished by the English people because they refused to wear that hat. So this is the picture of Agnew's turban. So Agnew's turban. So you could see the hat which the sepoy is having on his head. Okay, so this is the picture of General Agnew. Next, Causes of the revolt. The Indian soldiers were waiting for an opportunity to attack the English officers. So, because Indian soldiers, they were very angry on the British people, English officers. Why? Because they are giving more weapons or more kind of new methods for them to follow. Okay, removing the beard and trimming the mustache, not wearing the this one earrings and religious mark on their forehead. These everything were very new for them. So they were waiting for the chance to attack the English officers. Okay, Tipu's family also took part. Feta Haidar, and he was the elder son of Tipu. So Feta Haidar, he was the elder son of Tipu, tried to form an alliance against the English people. On July 10th, in the early morning, the native sepoys of the 1st and 23rd regiments started the revolt. Colonel Fancourt, who commanded the garrisons, so garrisons is nothing but Padugapu Aram, okay, it is called as garrisons, okay, was their first victim. The fort gates were closed. Meantime, the rebels proclaimed Fute Haidar as their new ruler. The British flag in the fort was brought down. The tiger striped flag of Tipu Sultan was hoisted on the fort of Vellore. Next one is suppression of the revolt. Major Coots, who was outside the fort, rushed to Ranipet and informed Colonel Gillespie. Colonel Gillespie reached Vellore fort. He made an attack on the rebel force. The revolt was completely suppressed and failed. Peace was restored in Vellore. On the whole, 113 Europeans and about 350 sepoys were killed in the uprising. The revolt was suppressed within a short period. It was one of the significant events in the history of Tamil Nadu. So, picture of Colonel Gillespie. Next, effects of the Vellore revolt. You will see what are the effects of the Vellore revolt. You have this in your short answer, fifth short answer, right? The new methods and uniform regulations were withdrawn. So, earlier they were giving new methods for the sepoys to what? To follow, isn't it? And uniforms were also given. So, later the new methods and uniform regulations were withdrawn by the English people. Okay. Second one, the family of Tipu as the precautionary measures was sent to Calcutta. So, the whole family of Tipu Sultan, for the precautionary measures, they sent them to where? Calcutta. Next, William Candivish Bentinck was removed from his service. So, William Candivish Bentinck, he was removed from his service. So, these 3 points were the effects of the Vellore revolt. Next, causes for the failure of the revolt. We will see what are the causes for the failure of the revolt. There were no proper leadership to guide the soldiers properly. The first point was there were no proper leadership in order to guide the soldiers in a proper way. Second one, the rebellion was also not well organized. Third one, divide and rule policy of the English split the unity of the Indians. V.D. Savarkar calls the Vellore revolts of 1806 as the prelude to the first war of Indian independence in the year 1853. Next comes revolt of 1857. We'll just stop up to this, children. Next class we shall continue with the revolt of 1857. Thank you and take care.